Hey, I'm Brad with Rising Water Acres. Today, what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be working on my old square baler. It's a John Deere 24T. There's a bushing up here in the feeder arm that went out. Caused a little bit of damage, nothing too terrible. See if we can't straighten these feeder arms back. But it looks like it's only going to be about 3 bolts. Hopefully we'll be able to take them out. This looks like this backside might be a little bit tougher. Bought a couple of the bushings that's supposed to be going for this. They do still sell parts for the 24T. Part number on this, hopefully it's right, is E as in Edward 15507. I bought this or picked this up this year, or this winter. It was running great. We ran it the first time, ran about 115 bales through it. Did just fine, Nodder works good. And this last time, buddy borrowed it so that way he could do some square baling, and ended up this bushing went out, so it kind of kicked these arms off and pushed the arms up and out of the slots down here. I don't know if you can see that right now or not. He didn't have very good luck with it, so he had that happen, and the next thing you know, he had this driver's side had it blow out on him, so he went and put a new tire on it. I appreciate that. I don't expect him to do that. It's my equipment. It's old. It's ratty. I know I'm gonna have to take care of it, and if you're using it and using it properly, something breaks, it's okay. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get these housings taken off, and these are just brass bushings, and that's all they are. About $45. You can get them through John Deere still. I got a local John Deere dealer here, and that's who I use to get the parts that I need. I'll quit yapping, and what we'll do is we'll come back and hopefully have these things taken off for you. All right, so we're gonna get started by taking this front one off. It seems like it's gonna be a little bit easier. It is gonna take 3/4 inch, both sides. Pretty easy. And I do want to say I'm not a professional. I'm a shade tree mechanic. So if I screw something up, I guess I'll learn from my mistake. Luckily, this doesn't seem like too bad of a job here. Just these 3 bolts. Out. Great. Perfect. But, and then also show people kind of what we do on our day-to-day lives. We started this farm maybe 3-4 years ago and really got, I wouldn't even say serious, but we have goats, we got some cows, we have mainly Dexters. We do it with a buddy of mine, and I just kind of enjoy the peace and quiet, especially when you're out there mowing hay or raking hay or baling hay. It's just nice to kind of have that. I'll shut up and I'll keep working here. Okay, got some rags here. Clean this up. Got a trusty grease gun. I run the good Lucas thick and tacky on most of my equipment, but here definitely gonna run the thick and tacky. Doesn't look like the bushing is on there. Could be wrong. I'm not a magician here, but it doesn't look like there's even a bushing in there. Great. Fabuloso. hear the mower in the background. That's the boy running it. The youngest boy. If it has a motor on it, he'll run it. It doesn't look terrible. I said that before. Let's just see. Of course, press fitting. There's not even a bushing in there. What in the world? And if I put a bushing in there, do I need to drill a hole in this? Well, I shouldn't have to, as long as the bushing stays tight on here, which it won't. It's definitely not going to. So I would need to drill a hole, line them up, so that way I'm getting grease to here, because it looks like it's pressing fitting here. Yeah, it's a tighter fitting. We'll say that. It's a tighter fitting. So, I think what I need to do here, go get my calipers, see where that hole lands. This is going to be more work than what I expected. Of course. Awesome. Okay. We'll just take this one off right here. Holy Toledo. She's on there. She's on there really good. It's hot. Oh, there we go. Yeah. Maybe it's 7/8 without it. It works. Just loosen up this idler gear. That way I got a little more slack in the chain. Sorry if I pull my shirt up, wet the sweat off. That didn't sound good. The boy just hit something on a lawnmower. Awesome. Love it. Love it. This one, not so easy. Oofta. Oofta May. I can only imagine what he's thinking right now. First time mowing, and he just hit something good. No, I don't have a perfect yard. There's stuff in it. Got kids. I blame it on the kids. I love doing this. I love it. I love it. It's fun. It's exciting. I think if I take the brake off here, along with this rotor, that'd do the trick. All I can do is try. Did I mention it's hot? It's supposed to be a high of 89 today with a humidity of 1,000,000. These are just Surprised he hasn't come over yet. He's probably trying to figure out how to fix it. I don't know if I can get my faucet fingers in there. Got one. Oh, the whole thing's come off. Well, that was easy. Okay. Now, hammer. Voila. That one appears to have an old bushing in it. Clean it up. Let's see. Let's see what they did here with the greaser. They drilled a hole. Yep, that's definitely got a bushing in that one. Woo! That's definitely got a worn out bushing in that one. I'll show you. I don't know if you can see this. It's supposed to be brass. We tried. Okay. Well, I'm glad I picked up 2 bushings then. Because you might as well. You know, might as well do them both. Okay. Okay. All right. All right, so what we're going to do is I'm going to take these in the shop. Shop by shop, I mean my little garage that's an absolute disaster. Take them in there. Get them put in. Get the holes drilled. And we'll go from there. Okay, we're back. I didn't struggle at all getting those bushings in or out. I promise you, I didn't. No, used a trick that I used when I was a machinist. Took the brass bushings and I went ahead and put them in the freezer. That actually will take the molecules and shrink them down a little bit, so that way it's a little bit easier to put them in, especially when they're a press fit. And you don't have a press. Makes things a little bit easier. So they didn't have a hole to be greased. Oh, let me clean this off a little bit. They didn't have a hole to be greased, so what I had to do is I put them in first. Instead of using the calipers and trying to do all that, and maybe getting it right, maybe getting it wrong, I went ahead and pressed them in, and I drilled. I took I want to say a 13/64 drill bit, went down through there because it didn't catch the threads of the greaser. And then after that, I really cleaned it out well with some brake parts cleaner, and I cleaned everything up. What I ended with, pretty good result, I think. As you can see, hopefully down in there, that's where the new hole is. Then I took a little bit of emery cloth after I drilled, because you never want any of that brass in there and gull up the metal. So I took some emery cloth and cleaned it out, and more brake clean. I just made sure it was very, very clean, so that way when I put it back on here, it's like the best job I can do. Not that it's not, I'm not a professional, okay? Let's just go there. I'm not a professional. So earlier when I said the boy hit something, he hit something, and that was part of the reason why it's taking me so long. Sun's going down right now, but it is a little cooler. So what he ended up hitting was the dog lead. So we've got chickens and stuff out here, and we've got German Shepherd, and we've also got goats, and for some reason he likes to be the boss. We'll just put it that way. So we put him on a lead. Usually we just let him run free and he stays in the yard. But lately he's been a bad boy. So he got caught up in the lead. So we had to bring the mower over. I had to put on the angle grinder. We had to cut the cable off, because I mean it was like a 150-pound dog cable. So we got that taken care of. And I told him, I said, boy, if you run into something else, I promise, you know, Dad's, you know. But he's back on it. He's going. He was mowing over here, but it's pretty loud, so I told him to go mow back over the levee. So that way the farmer next door has got a nice little path that he can mow in. I had to put you guys on the charger because the battery was almost dead while I was doing this. I also didn't want to show you my messy shop. But what I'll do is I'm going to get started here putting these back on. And then we're going to grease them up. But first what I'm going to do is I'm going to clean off this feeder arm where these bushings sit. So everything is clean. The best job that I can possibly do as a shade tree mechanic. Stay tuned. Okay, we're gonna go ahead, and we also have to straighten these forks out a little bit. I'm gonna try and do it without heat first because they're not that bent that I'm thinking that without the heat I can make it happen. But I'm gonna do that actually right now. I don't know the best way to do this because it's too small to put a bottle jack or anything in there. I don't have a porta power, whatever they want to call it. A porta power. I don't have one. I do have some C-clamps. This is probably 3/8 inch metal, so I don't know how easy it's gonna bend. I am pretty tough, so maybe that ain't gonna happen. No, it's that ain't gonna happen. So we're gonna go to the next step. We're gonna go ahead and put these bushings on. Yeah, maybe I can get these back down in here at least. All right, I got them in the slot. No pun intended. Got them in their home. All right, so now that they're in there, next thing I do is I'm gonna clean up these two, I don't know, rods where the bushings sit. I'm gonna use some brake clean. I'm gonna clean everything off to begin with. I'm gonna start from as clean as I can possibly get to when I'm all done. I'm gonna make sure that I grease them so that way they don't rust up, because obviously brake clean, it'll take and it'll get the oils and stuff off of it that keep it from rusting. So I do want to make sure that I get something back on there to protect the bare metal. And it is actually a press fit inside of the housings. And for some reason, probably it's just probably easier. They don't put holes in the bushings, so you got to put your own. He hit something again. You got to put your own holes in the bushings, and it's kind of a pain, but in reality, it's probably easier. I mean, it is what it is, and it's gonna be what it's gonna be. So when I'm putting these on, I want to make sure that the greaser, something small, I'm putting it to where it's going to be easiest for when I go back to use it. I'm going to be able to get to the greaser as easy as possible. So this front one, I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to put facing towards this driver's side wheel. And then the back one, I'll probably put facing up and out towards the passenger side. Just that way it's easy. I know it's not uniform, but you get over it. All right, let's just see how these fit. Let's cross our fingers here. It's heavy. I mean, if you didn't know that, it's heavy. All right, so this has to slide up into this hole, and I may just get like Curious George here, like a monkey, and try to do this. Well, you little... Well, the bolts came out. Well, if it came out, it's got to go back in. Right? Possibly. Maybe. Sure dang hope so. Alright. Got those ones. 2 out of 3. That's like, I don't know, 66%. Boom. Boom. All right. So now on those bolts, you got to put your lock washer and your nut. And whenever I'm putting something back together, you can do with it as you please. I mean, if it's your equipment, you do you, boo. But I'm gonna make sure I put everything on loose first. Make sure I'm as lined up as I can be. And then once I'm all lined up and everything's good to go, then what I'll do is I'll tighten everything down evenly. I'm very particular when it comes to that. I don't know why. Some things it doesn't matter. A lot of things it really does matter. So bear with me here. All right, so that one's I at least got the bolts on. It's sitting inside of the bushing. I'm not going to tighten it up any from there. Okay. It's still warm, if you're wondering. He's obviously gotten done with the levee. Do I know how good it is? Absolutely I don't. So, I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna have him cut the lawnmower just while I finish this up. I'll put this next one on, put these brackets on. All right, so those are tight. Now I'm gonna, I don't know what the tension's supposed to be. Yay. So I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna tighten this down. Nope. Nope. There. Thank you, sir. Welcome. So I'm just going to tighten this down to about yay. Let's see what happens. I mean, she's tight. All right, next thing we got to do is we got to try to straighten these arms here so that way they ride in these slots. We're going to try to finish this up. The only thing left to do is figure out if we need to bend that fork back. But I'm struggling when it comes to this dang thing. Definitely gonna come out. So now I gotta figure out, do I heat this up? Bend them out a little bit so it stays nice and center in the slots. I think that's my only option. I'll be right back with the torch. All right, so let me bring in here what I'm looking at and kind of show you what I mean when I'm talking about these arms. So right here, these two feeder arms, they're supposed to stay in these slots and they rake hay into the plunger. Well, after the last little incident we had, this one, try to get a good camera angle there, but I don't know that I can. This one right here has been bent in, and I think if I go any further, let me see. See if I go further, Sorry, skeeters. If I go further, it pops out. So I need to keep it from popping out of that slot. So I think if I just heat it up here and bend it, and maybe even bend this one so that way they're a little bit better centered, that might do the trick. What I do is I'm just going to try to heat it all through, bend it out so that way it's on the outer side of the slot, and do the same thing with this one so that way we can have a better spacing here, and hopefully these arms will stay right in the slots. I'll try to give you a show of that, and we'll see how this goes. Right here is where we want to go. Boy, oh boy. I am not sure how to get that up and out of there. Don't snow here. Wish I had a bigger clamp I could put down here. Might have to spin the forks down in there, then heat this up and pull on it with maybe a ratchet strap or something. There's just no good way to really get that down in there. Try it that way. All right, let's try this again. What I'm gonna do this time is I'm gonna stick this pry bar in here, and I'm hoping I can get enough leverage when I get it hot to be able to bend it out. I guarantee we're gonna find out. All right, let's give this a try here. I don't know if it's going far enough. It did bring it out just a little bit, but I need to come more than that. That's much gooder on that end. Pretty much centered. Now I'm gonna center this one up just for poops and giggles.
Can I move your truck so that I can mow under it?
No, you're good for now.
Okay. That was hot.
Yeah, it was red hot. Those are pretty much down the center though, aren't they?
Yeah.
Well, hopefully. Now when we spin this. All right, so let me show you. Now, these teeth are lining up down the center of those slots. I'm gonna have Grayson go ahead and video down in there, just don't touch it. I'm gonna try to roll this. I think we're good. They go where they're supposed to. Yep. I'm gonna call that a success. All right. So only took a lot of sweat. Wasn't a very hard job. 6 bolts. We were able to take those housings out, put the new bushings in. Those bushings again. Part number, if you want to, Grayson, grab me the, well, there should be a little, actually, I think they're in the garage. I want to say it's E15507 is the part number for those bushings. There's one on either side, the front and the back. Not too hard of a job. Hopefully we'll get this out soon and we'll be able to show you it working. Other than that, I think that's going to be it for tonight. I've got plenty more stuff to work on because all my stuff is broken down. It's old and it's cheap. But next thing I think I'm going to work on is I've got a 1964 Farmall 806, and it's got the traditional 806 shifting and wouldn't go into high. So I'm going to switch it from the 806 over to the 856 shift style. I've got all the parts. I'll go through those with you in the next video. And then we'll kind of figure out what we can't figure out. Thanks for staying tuned. If you're still here, awesome. This is the first video I'm going to be putting out, so give a thumbs up, like, and definitely tell me where I can improve. I know I've already ordered some microphones, so that way it can be a little bit easier to hear. But yeah, anything would be appreciated. Peace.